Hello and welcome to this week's adventures of the Windswift. We are a full crew plus one because someone went and had a baby. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Feature. So if you hear gurgling noises in the background, that's me. And if you hear baby noises, that's the baby. So just be aware of that throughout today's show. But anyway, without further ado, I have my
great start.
Wonderful. Yeah, I have my wonderful players with me, and Dice of Destiny is now digital, so it's going to digitally tell us who is going to give a recap from last week. That's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is Tobias.
Really? Okay, fine. Yep. Oh, I actually don't remember all that happened. What I do remember is that we had a big fight. Because Atra thought we were being idiots, that we're trying to go off and save Atra's daughter in the middle of having found Section 13. So we compromised. Atra took the rescued captains from the Stokstoyva and went to Section 13 to scout out the place, while the rest of us went full-on commando style into the Sekhet Desert to rescue Atra's daughter. And as these things always happen, we ended up detected, and we're now in the middle of a fight. And the same thing happened for Atra. She got spotted by a dragon.
Hey!
So Atra is running around trying to hide. And I think that's where we left off.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah, there's a massive combat going on between Atra, Jorek. Well, yes. Massive, I suppose you could say. Well, it is massive because there's mastiffs everywhere. So at least it's a mastiff.
It's a mastiff combat.
Yeah, it's a massive combat. Yes, Jorek summoned. Was it Jorek who summoned forth the mastiffs? I think it was. Oh no,
no! It's the druid who summons the creatures.
Yes, but I'm sorry, my druids that I haven't played with summon wolves or bears.
I mean, you're technically probably not. It's not untrue that he can do anything anyway. So.
Yeah, you know, mystics.
Tigers.
He just hasn't got that spell right now.
Exactly.
Connor's got the mastiffs going.
Next week.
Jorek, you were side-blading everything. Atra, you were bouncing in and out and just killing everything. And Sekhet, you were there as well. Were you throwing fire at this point? I'm not sure if you'd started with the fire.
Probably.
I think there was a bunch of babies or children that we didn't want to fry.
Oh, I mean, wait, yes, that's right.
There was the second level. You used the second level spell. I don't know what it's called right now. Arcanine Scorcher is the second edition version of it, but
yeah, that fire PPU thing.
You don't play second edition, so I don't know.
Yes, they have using children as a human shield. I have written here, so right. I think I was trying not to throw fireballs on this occasion. Maybe it's a nice change, right?
That's a good call.
No, it's still got like that. Okay, I wasn't sure.
All right, and yes, so we are in that corridor. The guards busy fighting all these mastiffs. There is only one guard left of the 4. If you remember that, there was a corridor. They had put a barrier up, and they were staying behind that. And of the 4 guards that had 4 of the kids, 3 of the kids have become freed. Those guards have also been engaged with by the mastiffs, whom are just busy involved in the fighting. The mastiffs are keeping the kids safe from the guards. There is one guard who remains, who, I do beg your pardon, who still has a child, according to my notes here. And I believe that we were about to start the round of combat. Now, what I did not have, what I do have written down are a set of initiatives, which I hope these are the ones that we're using. So I'm going to go with them. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with these ones anyway because they are written down here. And we're going to act on those ones. So Atra, you are going first. What are you doing?
Okay, so if I remember correctly, this is basically the hallway to where the rooms are situated, one of which my daughter is in.
Correct.
So I didn't see through the eyes of the guard captain or whatever it is. So would I be able to, because Atra told me
Yes, I would have sort of described and sort of drawn
Correct.
a
Yeah,
map
it's the
of
third
Yes,
door to the left, whatever it
the
was.
door to the left is the door that should contain your daughter.
Okay.
That's why they hold themselves up here.
Okay. Well, that would be awkward. But okay. So with just one person basically being up, I would then. Here's another question. I know this is a fairly vast kind of situation.
Complex, yeah.
Yeah. How big is it from where we are to the top? Just like straight, not like through all the stairs, but like if I think
Architecturally, okay. As the mole climbs, all right. You probably are about maybe 200 feet down, because the stairs down do go down quite significantly before each level.
Okay, so I will break off from this dude. I don't know if I was even engaged with him. I don't
No,
really
none
know.
of you were engaged just yet. The mastiffs
Okay.
came in and pulled that
So
up.
I will break off and just make a break for it and try to get to the door where I hope.
You
It
break
was
off the engagement?
Yeah, it was a 10-foot wide corridor, so you are going to run risks if you're going to just move straight past this individual. Is that your plan?
Yeah, I don't care if he wants to. If he wants to hit me, man, like go ahead.
Sure. Well, in that case, then he's definitely going to swing at you. He swings at you, and
Just class.
yeah, it's
The last thing he ever does.
probably will be the last thing that he ever does, as a matter of fact. Hits number 9, so he swings and misses completely as he watches his companions are busy being mauled by these massive dogs and things. Yeah, so you managed to get through to that door. Are you just going to wrench it open and go straight in?
Absolutely.
Sure. As you wrench it open, you have a look inside this room. It's very much how Adrasai described it in their vision. Standing in the middle of the room is a young face that you have not seen for quite some time. It is... well, she is looking in terror. Standing behind her is this tiefling captain who has obviously been operating this facility. He is ready and waiting. It looks as if he has a glove on that appears to be radiating a black kind of smoke. And he seems to have been waiting for your arrival.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
How far away was the door? Like, what can I still do?
The door was about from the barrier, that's 10 foot from the guards, that's 20 foot. So the door was probably about 35 feet away. So I would imagine that you would have been able to get to the door and then wrench the door open and probably move another 10 feet into the actual room itself.
Okay, so but I needed to double move to do this.
Yeah.
I do not have an action anymore.
No. But it will get you about 10 foot into the room if you so choose.
Okay. Then, as a bonus action, in that case, I will. So I see this kind of opening the door and kind of stumbling in, seeing my daughter, and and then seeing the situation kind of as like the surrounding kind of. I realize what's happening and kind of stumbling in and kind of slowing down for a little bit, and under like a hissing, I will actually cast a hex on him.
All right.
And I will say, "Let her go." But then I don't have an action anymore, so. Dum 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 dum. Waiting for the way.
Guard captain is hexed. Absolutely. That then takes us through to Sekhet. What are you doing? There's one guard remaining. He still has a child. His 3 companions are down. He's busy screaming something in jetty, as a matter of fact.
Oh, do I understand what he's saying?
I will kill this child if you do not stop what you are doing immediately.
Okay.
Whatever.
Sure.
just that in the background.
I'm
Just
just
a foot comes flying past the door.
I'm just checking here. I'm thinking, witch's bolt. You're gonna have to help my slightly addled brain, but that doesn't look like it will hit anything else if I hit it with that.
That is a targeted spell, isn't it?
If it just says the target, then it won't hit anybody else.
All right.
The beam. So I would
awesome.
assume it's pretty precise.
All right. Let's try and do that. I'm gonna aim that at the guard. I'm guessing he's less than 30 feet away at this stage.
Yes, he is. What are you doing?
I'm gonna make a ranged spell attack against the guard. We're using witch bolt.
There you go.
Which bolt?
Witch bolt.
Which bolt?
Which bolt?
Let's see. That's
that bolt.
Plus 17 plus 4, I think. Yes.
That's a hit.
Awesome. And then I've got to find a D. Can someone roll a D12 for me?
Sure, you'll be more than +4.
Absolutely.
4.
Wow, that rolled forever.
4.
9.
How many D4s do you want? How many D12s do you want?
D12s, right? Yeah.
It's 1D12.
1d12. Yeah.
4.
4.
4.
Okay, I did 4 damage. Whoop, whoop.
But you can do that to him each turn if you maintain the spell.
That's true. I'll maintain the concentration.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell. It's basically like a tether to him.
Yeah.
Just like
Slowly burning into his
with
stomach.
lightning.
Absolutely. Con, you're up. You and your mastiffs.
What the hell did I roll for initiative last time?
no
3
0.
guards.
Yeah.
Got you on 11, Jorek.
There are 3 guards down who have been tackled by mastiffs. Is that correct?
Correct.
Very well. Well, I take my long sword and I walk up to the first guard and I stick it in him.
All right, make a very cold and calculated attack.
As you do.
Do I get advantage?
The pointy end goes into the other man.
Prone individual.
Does the druid have
prone, yes.
tactics?
Yes, actually, the mastiffs knock them prone.
Yeah. Make attack.
Happy days. No fucking way. Well, I rolled a 3 on both dice.
No.
So I guess
That's 6, right?
Causes calamity.
I trip over something on my way to the guard.
Yeah, your cloak gets caught on the corner of the crate that they were cowering behind, perhaps.
Bastards, how undignified!
Yeah, your mastiffs, they are grappling with the guards. Is that correct?
It is correct.
All right, so then the guards must decide what they're going to
So
do.
they get to make, I believe, they get to make their escape attempts each round.
Yeah, the guards will do that on their turn when they get there, which is never.
In answer
Jorek.
to your earlier question,
Finally!
Yay.
I actually rolled this last session because I thought I was coming up, so I wrote it down. The guy
20,
who has
20 and 20.
a child still, he gets stabbed. 29 to hit.
Sorry, the who gets the what?
The guy who still has a child as a human shield, he gets stabbed.
Right. So you're making a melee attack against him, right?
Melee attack, yes. Main hand is 29 to hit, 23 damage.
Okay. Would you give me, please, either what would it be? I wonder. I need you to give me a dexterity check, if you please.
Would you please
Dexterity check, yes, sir. 15.
How much?
15.
15. All right. He pulls the child towards you as you slice at him. However, you do not impale the child, dealing 29 points of damage.
23.
23 points of damage, sorry. All right. So that puts him on that much.
How much extra AC is a child?
Well,
Wrong
according
time to
to
ask that question, and it should be, how much AC is a child? Not with so much glee, please, advertise.
Sorry.
I'll make an armor out of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm worried about. Remember what happened to my dragon. So, Jorek, you make your same attack. He's still standing.
Okay, then he gets an offhand attack, and that was, according to my notes, a natural 20 with a confirm of 13.
Interesting. How many more of these numbers have you written down? Because that's quite fun. All right, give me another dexterity check, please.
That's the
Oh no,
child.
natural 20. Okay, sure.
Well, you hit. The question is, do you slice through the child whilst hitting him? He's using the child
18.
as a shield. So
18.
18. Oh, God. Okay. Right. How much damage was that?
39 damage if it's times, what is it, 3 or 2?
2, I think.
On a 12 confirm, or 13 confirm, sorry.
I can take a look, but I think it was 2.
That's 3.
3, yeah. Then it's 39.
39
damage.
Okay. Well, that is...
Please don't hit the child.
You hit the child.
No.
Yeah,
Oops.
as you are slicing at him, he pulls the child towards you, and there's this moment where, as he dies, you are watching him. He kind of gurgles up blood, and he drops to the floor. The child is standing next to him. You know, he was sort of holding onto the child. He drops to the floor completely dead, as you have cleanly cut right through his trunk. The child, give me 1 second here. The child looks at you very briefly, and then its top slides cleanly.
Oh no!
Well,
Oh, shit.
to the ground. Some gods somewhere are smiling as your soul turns darker. But the god is definitely dead.
So is the kid.
So is the child. That was not intentional at all. Fuck.
No. The god died also regretting his choices. He did not think that anyone was going to attack him, since he was clearly holding a child. What kind of psychopath attacks a man holding a child? And that was his,
Clearly this psychopath.
Let me get to my round, I'll tell you who.
that was his intention, nonetheless, his best intentions and all that. Right, the other 3, so is that you done?
Yes, definitely. Even if I had more actions, I wouldn't take them at this point.
All right, so that is you done. Adrasai, you are busy skulking through the great halls of this underground construction, invisible and having scattered and lost your companion.
Well, no, I'm not invisible.
That's right.
The last thing I did.
Gnomes.
Yes. I mean, I tried to sort of find a moment, like as they exited the doorway, to just sort of turn into a gnome and just sort of stagger away, as if I was bumped into by something strange and invisible.
Right.
And then just turn and scurry away.
Yes, correct. As you turn to start scurrying away, the alarm has gone up all around the complex, and there is this strange wailing noise that seems to be coming from the higher parts of the corridors. And yes, everyone seems to be scurrying and dashing for doors. Give me an insight check, if you please, as one of the gnomes rushes past you. None of them are paying you any attention whatsoever.
16.
They all seem to be heading to very specific locations, and unfortunately there are no emergency evacuation boards, you are here signs anywhere that you can see. But they certainly all seem to be, some of them are going to one room, some of them are going past that and going to another, all disappearing as fast as they possibly can, and all very a little bit panicked, but mostly they place whatever they're working on down, turn, and then run to whichever exit they happen to be going to.
Yes. This corridor, does it have like a lot of doors, or are there like a few?
Remember, it's a massive corridor.
All right, then I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the question, the detect thought spell that is on the ring of mind reading. It's a concentration spell.
Yes.
Can I use the ring, and also uphold the concentration spell that I'm using, because it's on a magic item? Curses. Okay.
The magic item is not the one doing the concentration.
No, that's true. Fair enough. I'm going to sort of, try to rush in the same speed and try to find a door that nobody else has used, something that looks discreet and rather small. And basically, I'm going to try to find an empty room to disappear into and sort of listen at the door if there's like intense screaming on the other side. I don't know.
Give me a percentile roll.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You want to get
36.
Hello. Okay. All right. Not bad. 36. You open up a door. You slip inside the door. It is a fairly well-lit room. There are, it looks to be large amounts of crates and boxes. This is some storage of some kind. They're rather curious things. These rather large crystals, green glowing crystals, are stored in several of the boxes that line the walls and things. Other than that, yes, you seem to be alone. Are you doing anything else?
Any other exits?
Of this room? No.
No. No gnome-sized ventilation shafts?
Yes, about 15 foot up, there is a ventilation shaft exit, correct.
Ooh, can I start stacking some boxes and get up there?
Sure, absolutely. So that's what you're going to start doing?
Yeah.
That's what you start doing. The guards get to act against the mastiff.
Yay!
Guards don't have a hope in Hades. Do you have the mastiff's grapple skill with you, Con?
Yeah. Although, I'm not sure if they maintain a grapple or not. It just says when they successfully hit the creature, they knock it prone.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that the dogs are engaged with the individual.
Yeah, it does kind of. I would have thought so. That's what dogs do, but
That's
it's
what
not
they do.
explicitly.
I mean, they didn't attack, so it's assumed.
Yeah.
Because they kind of grappled, right?
I would have. Anyway, yes. Okay, so that's
All right, so the first one can give me an athletics or acrobatics grapple, if you please. Athletics, sorry.
That is a natural 20.
That beats by 5. That guard is grappled. He is not in a happy place. The second guard.
That's a cock dice. Second guard. Oh, that's a 5.
I am going to have to ask Fantasy Grounds to fix my version of Fantasy Grounds because I rolled a 3, so he is grappled.
No way.
You want the DM version that rolls high rolls?
I want the DM version, please. Yes, and my next roll is a whopper. It's a 12.
Ah, well, that was an 8.
Aha! He wiggles free. I am free! I am a god! Says the god. Escapes from the jaws of the mastiff with his other 2 companions are still busy rolling around.
The only problem, of course, is that that's 3 mastiffs and I summoned 8.
Oh, shit! Says the god as he realizes.
Also, he's prone, right? So he's still lying on the
In
ground.
fact, if I recall, I set 2 each. But I can't, that's retroactive. I can't. I'm not gonna.
Well, there are the other mastiffs around, and they're kind of bored and looking to slobber on something.
Kill them!
Yeah, dogs are not the kind to sit there whilst other dogs are having fun playing with something. They all get mucked in. They're a big pack kind of creature. So there we go. That's what's happening. He looks up in terror as your mastiffs are just going to waylay into him. You can give me just a double attack from the one. Make your attack from the one mastiff to knock him down again. Or keep him down, I suppose.
16.
That's a hit. What's his... he's going to make a strength save? Or is he just
Yes.
automatically not prone?
No, he gets a strength save. It's 11. Not very high.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
And
He is
3
grappled.
damage from the teeth.
Yeah, the damage is not particularly important. There's a giant mastiff on him, so he was free briefly. For a moment, he had freedom, and now he has mastiff. And
Yay!
round to the back, top of the round to Atra. Oh, well, there is the individual with you in that room, Atra. He hisses at you in tiefling.
So before you act, I need to name an ability from the hacks, and I will name strength before you do anything because that's but happen.
Sure.
I just want to say this before you're trying to do anything.
Yep, it's a good one. Strength. He hisses at you in tiefling. If you commonly close rival destroy this child, and all your fighting will be for nothing. The cabal owns her. You should not be trying to take her away.
I have a different opinion here, but okay.
He looks as if he is readying an action, and it's top of the round, so back to you.
Okay. I am within 60 feet, right?
Yep.
I will cast Banishment on my daughter.
Ooh.
Ooh,
You will
clever.
banish your daughter.
To hell!
I love it. His ready action does not trigger, for that was not the action that would trigger it. So
And
you
then-
banish your daughter. Does she get a saving throw?
Well, You attempt to send one creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence.
Yes.
The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be banished. And then it's like if it's native to the plane, yada, 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 which doesn't really apply here. So, I mean, with everything, you can always decide to not make
the save, sure.
Right.
She doesn't know what you're doing, and you don't look...
Well, she can try to
knows
save.
who you are. It doesn't matter. She rolled she rolled a natural 1. It's fine.
It's gone forever.
So
I'm wondering if I should just bring back my...
it's not forever. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, she's gone forever.
Can you roll a
If I
1?
can't have her, no one can. All right, so where are you banishing her to?
So to the Shadow Realm, obviously, right?
To hell.
So I kind of, as I said, like as this obviously happens all in like in flow, right? This isn't like actually. Okay, so as I kind of stumble slower into the room, kind of slowing down, I cast my hex on the guy, and he says his words, right? And I kind of bring my hand up, and it kind of the shadows kind of start to kind of emerge from it, and it's a little bit like the Death Eaters, I guess, from Harry Potter, when they kind of get whisked away. She kind of just disappears into a sub-realm, because there's actually, like, in the setting, there's not really, like... So, and she just disappears into, well, thin air, technically. And with that, then I kind of lower the head a little bit, and like a sick, very sadistic smile dances across the face, and I just start to move up to him.
He screams in anguish at her loss. Are you doing anything else?
That's my action and my movement, I guess. So I just move up to him and just like, come at me, bro.
Yeah. He was not expecting that one. I like it. Sekhet.
Well, I look at Jorek and go, what the fuck, dude? Like,
It's not my action yet, but...
Did you mean to do that?
Obviously.
We have to eat.
No, Jorek is more like this.
Come on!
As he tries to catch...
Jorek!
Okay, moving on swiftly, because I don't want to look at that pile anymore. Whoa, I'm going to have to emotionally deal with that later. Okay, so where did Atra go? I think he,
Well, there's one door that's definitely open. He must have gone... Well, not must have gone, but...
Anguish scream.
Just like...
Okay, let's just move on from this scene and move on to Atra and... Oh my god, please don't be disturbing in there.
5 seconds later.
So yeah, run in after Atra, and I'm like, I guess I've got a spell action as well. So I'm going to see the guard standing there going, ah!
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
She can use an action?
I moved. Can I cast a spell as
Well,
well?
How far you move?
How far away is the door? Sorry, I should check.
You were on the other side of the barricade, right? Yeah, it's going to take you 2 moves to get into the room.
All right, so
Moving a dash. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm
Right.
just moving towards the door then.
All right. Con.
God damn it, Jorek, I really wish you'd be more careful. I yell as I...
Pick up the 2 halves.
Jorek is just holding
twins.
2 halves of a child.
I chuck my sword,
looking
chuck my
shocked.
sword aside. I growl at the mastiffs to kill the guards. And then I make my way over to the child, pulling some glass vials out of my druid's doctor's bag and popping the corks out as I walked. And I quickly scatter these oils around the halves of the corpse, and I start incanting druidic as green energy wreathes the corpse, and I reincarnate it.
Well,
All right.
That's impressive.
As a human. No? Halfling.
I mean, it was a child, so that's fairly on brand.
Close enough. It's a child human. No, wait. No.
A new body starts to form next to the corpse. wreathed in green energies. And after a very short space of time, it gasps as the quickening of its soul enters. I look at Jorek. I can't do that again, so be careful.
Yes, that was not my plan.
And then I slump to the side from
Thank you, Con.
tired.
You're up next.
I'm gonna pass this turn, but just Jorek is shocked. He's not doing anything.
The other three kids are cowering in the corner of the passage, terrified of you and in awe of Con, and trying to block their ears and close their eyes as the mastiffs slowly rip into the guards who have hope and hell of escaping.
That's going to take years of therapy.
One is doing this. One is doing this.
Back to the mastiffs and the guards. I'm not even going to roll for them. The guards are in no way, shape, or form capable of defending themselves from 8 large mastiffs who are ripping into them.
Like meat's back on the menu, boys.
All clear, Atra. Let's kill this fucker and go home.
The said individual is currently standing there with his hands smoking, wondering where the child went, because that was not the plan. The plan was if Atra attacked, he was going to kill the child. There's no child. Atra's attacking. He pulls the glove off and drops it on the ground and drops to his knees. I surrender. You can kill me if you like, but I am not a contract.
What do you say?
Kill me if you like, but I am not a contract. I was doing my duty as you do before you.
Yeah. So first attack.
Yeah. Like textbook.
Yeah.
I will absolutely do more damage because fuck him.
Sure. Well, he's prone, so yes.
Oh, I get advantage.
Oh, you can't miss. You cannot miss. You can just do damage. There's no ways that you can miss. He is not moving in the slightest. So unless you've coated your hand in butter to give him a fair advantage, there is no ways that...
Don't feel like handing out freebies today. Okay, that's from the 2 attacks. That's a total of 90, 115... 139 points of damage.
He is completely destroyed.
Oh.
Completely destroyed by 39 points of damage.
So as he kind of drops the gauntlet to the ground and kind of goes to his knees, the maul just comes on down, and then there's no head anymore.
And then there is no head anymore. He is smashed.
His head has relocated to his ribcage.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, that's how the insides look.
Absolutely smashed to a pulp. That takes us out of that combat round now. It's just between the two.
Yeah, and as he kind of falls to the ground, I kind of turn around, lose my concentration, which means the banishment ends.
Your
And
sister reappears.
Sister?
Daughter.
Daughter.
His sister, your daughter. Trying to keep track of all
My
of these
sister
families.
reappears.
Bloody players having families. What the hell?
Why are you all orphans? She reappears. For a moment, she looks at you. She looks at the bloody mess that was this individual who was in charge of this camp. She looks back at you. And what kind of relationship do you have with your sister?
Daughter.
Oh.
Daughter, I'm leaving. I am leaving. One of you has to marry her, because then it leads to sister-in-law. Once someone else marries someone else. Anyway, you and your daughter, what kind of relationship do you have? Are you lovey and huggy, or are you dispassionately pleased to see one another?
Japanese.
Okay, so as she kind of reappears, I kind of take a few kind of slow steps towards her and then go to my knees to basically be on like more or less on an even eye level, and just don't say anything for a minute. Then we can get back to it for a second.
All right. Adrasai,
Yes.
you're busy stacking boxes to
Yes.
try and get the 15th,
Reverse Tetris.
the 8 feet you need to be able to get to the 15th foot
Yes.
of this.
Being a halfling is less fun than I thought.
It really
Or
is.
no.
Really, yeah, as a gnome, it really is. It's that 15 feet seems more like
I should be up there by now. This is
crazy.
bull.
I need you to give me a perception check, if you please.
Well, those you're at least good at.
18.
18. Something is approaching, and it sounds like... Well, you've read a lot of books. And in some of the books which you secretly read, perhaps as a guilty pleasure because they're pure fiction and had no academic value whatsoever, and they were cheap, pure fiction, romanticized pure fiction. It sounds like the voices of the dead are prowling the moonlit night as our heroine stood watching in fear as darkness rose around her. Or something like that. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Bad fan
It's a
fiction.
very specific sound.
It is a very specific sound. And the reason why...
It's one of those sounds that are equal to, a Thai look.
Yes.
Very specific.
Very specific sound. It is approaching the door.
This door specific. I guess I can't tell that from inside, but like.
Yeah. This sort of ghostly, whispering, screaming, souls of the dead sound.
Okay. How far away am I from, like, time-wise to getting into this?
You've got a jump of about 7 foot, so you could probably do it.
Can I see into it? Can
no,
I see through the...
You've ripped the grill off.
Yeah.
Or at least you managed to pry the bottom of it open, so you'll be able to climb inside of that.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm just thinking about Misty stepping in.
you can see the top of it. You can't see the actual floor of the surface itself.
Yes. But can I sort of teleport into that space and then just sort of drop down?
I think you have to... Well, you have to see where you're going, so you can give me an acrobatics check not to teleport just in front of it rather than in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
12?
12, yeah. So you misty step up and you sort of half in, half out. So there's this sort of hanging thing happening. And there's nothing to grip on because it's just stone that's inside. They've put it in for ventilation.
Yes.
So you're sort of scrabbling and holding on. And this ghost-like sound suddenly gets very loud. And you realize as you look down this ball of souls, it really does look like a lot of very terrified beings have been chained together. But the more you look at it, you realize not chained together, body parts have merged together. So 2 arms have become a single flesh bridge between 2 bodies, uniting the trunks of these individuals into this writhing mass of screaming, very dead things. And all of their eyes have this red glow to them. And they're busy scanning around this space. And they then obviously see in the ducts. What are you doing?
It's like ghostly, like
Yes.
it came through the door?
Yes. Your magic casting abilities indicate that this is something akin to your arcane eye.
Yeah. But
But
worse.
meant to be seen.
Yes. It's
Arcane
horrifying.
eye from someone with bad taste.
Yes. Arcane everything but the eye, really.
Just a face, Tobias. Just a face.
Yes. I'm gonna try to clamber into the vent. I don't know what else to do at this point.
Like, oh my god. All right, so you are trying to clamber into this this vent thing. It's not too much of a problem. Give me a strength check, if you please.
As it bites your heels and tries to pull you out.
9. There is an earnest desire to be inside this vent. That is all it is though, because your elbows seem to just not have enough power, Captain, to pull you deeper in or to do anything. You're just sort of there.
I keep
You
trying
realize,
to use my claws.
well, you
but
realize that
it's not there.
you've braced yourself on either side of the vent to prevent yourself from sliding out. But in the bracing, you realize that if you move an arm, you're going to lose the brace and then fall out of the tunnel. So you were hoping on your feet being able to scrabble and get you up. But the rock is remarkably hard and your claws are not finding a purchase whatsoever.
They're not there right now.
Well, they're not even there because you're a gnome, which you suddenly realize. These boots, what are these boots doing?
This is why you don't wear boots.
Stupid. Anyway, that's what you're doing. Back to the corridor in the sands of Sekhet Empire, literally on the other side of the planet. We find an exhausted Con sitting next to an emotionally drained Jorek. And yes, what are the two of you doing?
Well, I guess I regained my composure after a while and just thank you, Con.
I sort of look in my pouches absent-mindedly for the pipe that isn't there and then look a bit disappointed and... Well, yes. We're supposed to be guides after all.
I thought I was more skilled than that.
It's a difficult situation.
Mm.
I sort of glanced towards the doorway where Atra disappeared, having seen as there's like no more screaming or anything, and sort of just curiously assess what's happening next. Look at the children.
Just a tasteful crunching sound of bones being gnawed.
I guess I go over to the children and try and talk to them, find out where they're from, where their parents are, if they know.
Yeah, they don't know where their parents are. They were sold by their parents into slavery anyway. So there's a human child, there's a dwarf, and there is a Sekhet, none of whom, when you say who are your parents, they all sort of look miserably at the ground. And
what kind of a world do we live in?
Their names, by the way, are 213, 224, and 618.
Well, that just certainly won't do at all. Oh, I have a... God damn it! We're turning into an adoption agency.
There has to be an orphanage around here somewhere. We can take them.
Is that a thing? To suggest that...
This is the orphanage.
This is what they do with orphans, clearly, and unwanted children. Around here. Perhaps I can send them to Sanctuary.
Thoughts pass through your head. Atra, you are with your daughter.
Yeah, and being on the knees already, like 2 feet away from her, I just look at her and say like, "Hello, my little jewel. Told you I would find you."
Great big tears well up in both of her eyes, and you can see a quivering in her hand as she restrains herself for a second, waiting for your next few words. Or actions. She can't contain herself anymore. She throws her arms around your neck and just hugs you as if she is trying to be absorbed into you so that she will never again be without you. There are no words to describe the quivering that is running through her. She's just sobbing and releasing out years worth of sadness and joy at maybe this whole thing is over.
Yeah, I would absolutely return the embrace. I mean, there's no question about that. And yeah,
absolutely.
Atra would also start to cry.
Sekhet, you are seeing this incredibly emotional scene in front of you.
That's going to be great for Sekhet. They love this. No.
Well, blinking back the tears, like, oh, that's so emotional. And I just watched a child die. It's all getting a bit much now. Okay, are we clear in here? Because, okay, I'm just gonna go find something to blow my nose in.
You're going to go and find baking, you liar.
Probably.
All right.
Where's the
You step into the corridor?
Step back into the corridor and shout to Jorek and Con, clear! We just need to get the foobar out of here, the fuck out of here, and go home and find Adversai, hopefully.
Are you all right?
Yeah, it's all fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Still been a bit emotional.
Well,
All right.
I guess for the time being, we'll have to take these 3 with us.
You're
Yes.
taking children with us?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can leave them here.
Okay.
Not
I'm
leaving
glad to
them
see
here.
that one's come back. Let's
Yeah.
not try and kill any more of them, okay?
Yeah, that child's gonna have
Severe.
problems.
It's born a human.
Where are we going to take them? I mean, I just hope they got a therapist there.
What was
Puberty
it
is hard
before?
enough when you're still in your same body.
What was it before? Because now it's a halfling.
It was a human, I think.
Human.
Yeah. Well, not too far. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, so I guess I start walking back to Jorek and Con.
All right.
I'm gonna basically, once we've gathered up Atra and daughter and children, and we're making our way
There's more I
out,
want to do before we do that. So
Mhm.
I'd like to set fire to the place.
Mm.
There are still
my
other
move.
children in here.
Yes.
Are there?
So many.
Fine. We have something rather pressing to deal with right now, but we'll be back.
Uh-oh.
This is an
I'll be
IOU
back.
to save you later, and you sort of hand you
it's
guards.
on the list.
It's on the very freaking long list.
Yes.
It keeps getting longer.
So you're just taking the 4 with you that you have
No,
liberated.
there's a little bit more that I want.
There's
to
more that Atra wants to. All right, that's fine. I'll come back to you. This ball of flesh
Horror.
and horror, yes. It seems to expand ever so slightly and then contract quite dramatically into this little green bead, which then drops to the floor.
That's weird. I think I'm just gonna give up and drop down onto the floor.
Right?
Because I'm not gonna get up into that, having failed the roll and everything. I'm just gonna drop back down.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna sort of very carefully sort of crack the door just a little bit.
As you get towards the door, because the bead is at the door, right? As you get towards the door, the bead just gently rolls towards you and stops about a foot away from you.
Yeah, I figured that was some kind of tracker. And just sort of crack the door a little, just kick it out and close the door.
Give me an attack roll. Give me an attack roll using your strength and proficiency.
Oh,
Actually, no proficiency because you're not a soccer player.
no, I'm not a soccer player.
Especially not in half.
So just a strength roll then.
Yeah, strength check basically.
16.
All right, you kick it, or at least you desperately try and kick it. Yep, you kick it. Natural 1 from my side. You kick this poor little thing, and it sails across the corridor and smashes against the other side of the wall and sort of just goofifies.
Ooh.
As it's doing that, though, with your door slightly ajar, there is this incredibly handsome Cathar busy approaching, and they watch as the bead smashes against the wall and then look back towards the door with this slightly, well, that was my favorite bead look. They're slightly put out by the fact that their little trinket has been broken.
Do I recognize this incredible, handsome Cathar?
No, you don't immediately recognize who this individual is.
No.
You don't immediately, no.
All right. I'm just gonna close the door again. Just sort of, nope.
There's a slight knocking from the other side of the door. Can I come in?
Who is it?
I might ask the same question.
I'm really busy.
If you're thinking of trying to climb into the vents, I hope you have the capacity to turn yourself into mist. There are some rather tricky steps ahead of you.
Why? I haven't thought of events at all. I don't know why you'd say that. I'm just here counting crystals.
I'm going to open the door, and we can either have a conversation, or you could try to get to the vents again.
Can we just talk like this? I really like it if we talk like this. The door's stuck, actually.
It's very impersonal.
Okay, fine. I'd say sort of step
But if
back.
you're worried about the door being stuck, let me see if I can help unstick it.
No, it's fine. Just open it. It's fine. I sort of back away from it.
The door opens, and this Cathar steps in. This
Yes.
is better, is it not? Face to face.
Sure. What's going on exactly? There was an alarm, so I ran in here to my crystals.
Do you speak Gnomish?
Yes.
The Cathar switches to Gnomish.
Mm-hmm.
So, you are employed here?
Clearly.
And I assume if I ask you the name of your supervisor, you'll be able to tell me.
Well, we've had a lot of changing supervisors recently, but the new one.
To explain why during the emergency you ran in here rather than reporting to your supervisor, you would say...
Because I lost my glasses and I thought that this was the right door, but it's not, obviously. So I just thought I'll stay in here because it's really scary when there's a lot of alarms going on.
Then what would you say if I were to question as to why you decided it would be safer to stay in this room after you have gone through the training that everyone goes through when they start working here? Surely you would know that those who are not in their designated areas are immediately executed.
Well, yes, obviously, I know that. But,
Yes.
I've been...
Understandable.
I haven't been feeling so good lately, actually.
Oh, on account of not having your glasses. The dizziness is because of not seeing clearly.
Yes, so I just felt like, why not? My time has come. Might as well just go into this crystal room and die now.
Oh, and die?
Yes. I mean, obviously, since I'm going to be executed now.
Well, it's good that you are prepared to die, but you're not going to die just yet.
No, I didn't think so. Who are you anyway? What's your name?
Atra, what are you doing?
So she kind of embraced me. I embraced her. We're both sobbing and in
Yes.
tears. And as this happens, my hand goes through her long hair, kind of petting her or...
Sure.
Right.
She needs a bath.
Well,
yes.
I don't really care about that. Just like, there are more important things than her, but like bodily hygiene for me right now. So I embrace her and hold her very, very firmly, and I whisper into her ears, similar to what you said, interestingly enough earlier, that like I will never let them take you away. We'll always be together. Never be separated again. And are we two alone in the room at this point, or
At
is...
this point you are, yes. She clings on, she's not letting go.
Okay. So what then would happen is that the tail of me would go and grab the dagger on my belt.
Sure. Not a problem.
Yes. And then I will kill her.
Sure. You are going to kill her with the dagger on your tail?
Yes.
You will kill her because you can do just vast amounts of damage, and she is completely unaware. She dies in your arms.
And I will absorb her soul.
There is the swirling of energy as the soul is absorbed.
And I think it would be rather interesting if Atra would go unconscious right now.
All right. You drop unconscious from these acts that you have done. Interesting. Interesting. We know who our nemesis is for next season. So yeah, you do that. The room is awfully quiet. Jorek and Sekhet, the room that Atra is in is deathly quiet. It doesn't even sound like there's anyone there, for that matter. There was some brief whisperings and then a thump.
And Jorek's going to be scouting out ahead the way out to see if there's any more guards. So he's not nearby at the moment.
So I know you're having this wonderful reunion moment, but I really think we should be getting... Oh.
No sign of the daughter, just Adrasai lying on the ground.
Atramentum.
What, he doesn't leave a corpse?
Atramentum.
What, there's no corpse from the daughter? I thought he just absorbed his soul.
Oh, yeah, so there's... Yeah, sorry, you're quite right. Yes, there's a desiccated corpse, yeah.
Okay, well, she's obviously dead. I'd check Atra for vitals.
The wood
Alive, yeah.
Is it obvious that he stabbed her?
I would think so. You took the dagger with your tail and plunged it into her back, right? And then collapsed.
absolutely up to you.
Yeah, give me an investigate check, Con.
Uh, 17.
You rule out suicide straight away, adding to the fact that it's unlikely that the daughter stabbed herself in the back using Adra's dagger. It's also not the guard's fault. Without a head, it's difficult to stab people accurately between the two vertebrae that severed her chain of day. The result leads to the inevitable conclusion. It was definitely Adrasai.
It was Atras.
Even though she's in section 13 right now.
Not that powerful yet.
Because, yes. No, it's definitely...
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, exactly. My dear Adrasai.
Just seems like what they'd do, really.
I look around for a bucket of water or anything. Actually, wait, I can create water.
I produce a bucket of water.
Con with all these powers. Water! Raise the
I
dead!
grab Atra by like this and haul him upright a bit off the ground and create water into his face, basically.
Right. You are shocked awake. Adrasai, you are very much awake. Sekhet, what are you doing while this is all going on? Because there's lots of muttering that will be coming from Con. Jorek has disappeared down the corridor, and there are 4 kids currently standing in basically a puddle next to you. Yeah.
Con, are we okay to go now? I really feel we should be leaving before this becomes a problem. Con.
Oh, we're leaving all right.
And Atra, are you awake in there? Hello? What is going on?
Sekhet.
Could you guys keep it down a bit? There's still guards around.
Yeah, I'm aware. We need to leave. Okay,
Yes.
kiddies, we're going to evacuate you out of here as quickly as possible. If you'd like to follow.
Sekhet, by the way,
Mhm.
that teleporting thing you do,
The
how many people can you bring with you?
Oh, that's a good
One other
question.
person. Dimension door is one.
Yeah, just one, I'm afraid.
I figured as much. There's always these limitations with these things. Oh well,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
guess we're going the long way.
Uh-huh.
It is indeed a long
Oh,
process.
wait. Do we?
I'll come
I
back
just
to you.
remembered something.
Come back to you. Adversary?
Yes.
Which one?
New rule, no players are allowed to have similar sounding names.
I was here first.
Atra. I mean, they're not that similar, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Adversary.
Yeah.
The Cathar looks at you for a moment. Let's be honest with each other, shall we?
Okay, fine. I dropped the thing all to self.
You drop the spell, and your Cathar form is revealed. The Cathar sheds all of his fur and reveals a gnome.
Oh.
A female gnome.
Oh, was it the one that I saw?
It is.
Oh.
Well, this is a pleasant change, is it not?
Really? Did you turn yourself into a hot guy to lure me out?
I suspected that you might be one of the captains that has been plaguing us for quite some time. Yes, that's right.
Well,
Wasn't sure who exactly, but I didn't suspect Captain Odana capable of changing himself into a gnome, and doesn't seem very much Jorek's style. And if you were Sekhet, you would have vaporized half of the station by now.
That's a good point.
Left me basically with you.
I guess so. I want to try to discreetly activate the ring.
You very quietly start rubbing the ring nervously. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Sort of try to get surface thoughts.
Now, are you going to make me have to flush out the rest of your crew? Track them all down wherever they are in this station? Or can we just talk?
Funny thing that is.
Are those my options? Tell you everything I know, or sell out my fellow captains, or just stand here and talk with you?
I'm going to find them one way or another. This is a facility that was built by Section 13 a very long time ago, and has for 300 years managed to operate without anyone finding it before.
It's true.
So the chances of them getting out are very slim.
Then again, you guys have a long history of underestimating us.
That's true. That is true. I do wonder, though, if I cut off your arms, will that bring them back? Or do you think they're going to continue to try and escape?
Oh, you mean like holding me hostage and try to use me as bait? Is that what you're saying?
No. Bait implies that it's a trap. It isn't a trap at all. I'd be using you more as something to plague on their conscience, if anything. I certainly know that you all already hate Section 31 and are so angry with us and think we're traitors and all that kind of stuff. So there's no point in trying to negotiate with you. I'm simply offering you a chance to, if you'll excuse the pun, hold on to what you've got.
That's pretty good. Well, honestly though, in what way are you not awful people at this point? Like, I'm genuinely curious here what your angle on this is.
And I will share it with you, but not long enough for our companions to get into whatever position they're trying to get into to cause whatever kind of mischief they're trying to cause. So either you can walk out of here, or I can have, well, they don't really have names, but I think, well, we'll just get him to come over. And one of these massive golems sort of hulks towards the door. He can hold you tenderly. He can just rip your arms off right now. You choose.
I think I'll call him Freddy.
Suit yourself.
What was your name? You never told me. Or at least give me something to call you. I don't really want to just call you evil gnome lady. I mean, I can if you want me to, but...
I'm fairly certain that's what you do already. Considering what you did to one of our previous business partners, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a particularly nasty ending for me.
Which one are you talking about? We've killed a lot of people at this point.
The way that you dispatched our poor head of the order, I mean, he really didn't do very much against you, did he?
He killed me.
Do you mean the dragon or the elf?
The elf, of course.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, 'cause I was sort of thinking that the dragon was probably pulling his strings, so,
Well, of course.
you know,
The dragons have been pulling all of those strings.
I had nothing to do with the elf. That was not me.
Lift that and bring it with me. If it tries to cast anything, or if it tries to move, rip its arms off.
All right. I'm not
Amazing
gonna...
how golems follow orders so precisely, I find. Quite.
Did I have time to get the ring working before this?
Yes, you did. They get a wisdom saving throw to avoid you.
I believe I get surface thoughts for up to a minute.
All right.
But if I try to go any lower than that, they have to make a wisdom.
Surface thoughts are there are quite a lot of surface thoughts going on at the moment. Principally, what you gather is that A, she is incredibly nervous of the power that you wield and is trying to play it cool. B, she is very aware that her companions are busy hunting down the rest who are with you. She knows that there are at least 4 that were seen by her master and lord, and she needs to hunt them down very quickly. And then there is one surface thought that she hopes that they do try to escape out of the main entrance. And then there's a few accompanying images of, it looks like an energy discharge and their skin being visibly removed from their bodies whilst they're still alive.
Big nasty trap. Got it.
Yeah, those are surface thoughts at the moment. She's also wondering why there are crates stacked up next to the vent. You were trying to escape out of the vent, but you didn't. Why? Maybe you are a decoy. Best just to have this conversation in a safer space. Those are all the thoughts that are flittering through.
All right. I'm just going to add sort of grabbed by Freddy the second, Freddy Jr.
Clutches both your shoulders and lifts you up.
All right. This is a lot less comfortable than I imagined.
Golems have a tendency to be like that, yes.
Yes. That said, though, if you hurt me too much, I'm not going to be your friend. And I'm not going to tell you any of the many, many, many things I've learned about, dragons, reality, their goals, how to actually meet their goals, their past, all of that nonsense things.
I'm sure whatever it is that you have is incredibly tempting to know, she says as she starts walking down the corridor. Unfortunately, you will find that once you actually meet with our masters, that you'll realize there's very little that we can possibly know that is even a glimmer of what they know, and their power that comes with it too. So when you put it in perspective, it's like you're offering to teach me about peas when I already know what the 3-course meal is all about.
Oh, I think you'll be surprised.
There are many surprises today. You're just one of them.
Yes. Oh, just wait until you hear about Argyle. He's the favorite part of this.
Argyle?
It's just like, what have I missed?
Argyle. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you're trying to distract me by giving me other information. Very clever, very smart.
No, I'm just giving you a little teaser, shall we say.
Aperitif.
Let's see, shall we? I don't suppose you'd volunteer a scream or something.
Of course. Was that good?
I think it'll do.
Do you want a better one? I could do better ones.
As a matter of fact, if you wouldn't mind, I would be delighted if you could scream again for me. Yeah?
Sure. Ouch!
That's better. That is better. I like it. I wonder. Freddie, take this one to the chamber. The masters want to speak to it.
Ooh.
I have to go and find your friends now.
Okay, good luck.
Your face washes over Havent's face. And for a moment, there's some coughing and gargling. So how did it go exactly?
It's pretty good.
Something like that. I'm fairly
good.
That will be enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and cleanse for a vent. Oh, really?
Sorry. I should have. Okay, bye.
You are plodded down the corridor. Back to Con and Atramentum. You are grabbed by the collar, you are washed in water, and you are awoke.
Okay.
You wake up to see Con's furious face a few inches from your own, his eyes boring into yours. Doubtless you have some sort of rationale behind whatever it is that you've done here, but right now all I see is this unforgivable waste of my time. We're leaving now. Are you coming to help or not?
So the first thing that you would realize is that the facial expression of Atra is a little bit off, a little bit alien perhaps, a little bit different.
He's smiling. No, sorry.
And it looks a little bit bewildered, maybe puzzled.
I give him a shake. Well, are you coming or not?
What happened?
Oh, for crying out loud. I dump him, turn and walk out.
As you come out into the corridor, you see Jorek is standing. He's sort of glowing pink a little bit, and his chest is half transparent, and he's sort of pulling something out of his chest, and it's a sphere of purplish pink energy that he sort of just puts in the corridor and says, I think I have this figured out. Touch it.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get us out of here. The quick way.
It appears Atramentum has lost his mind and murdered his own daughter.
Okay, I don't know how long I can hold this. Can you just get him, please?
I march back into the chamber, grab Atramentum by the ankle and drag him out. And sort of
touch the sphere.
Okay,
right, well,
kiddies,
you can experiment
everybody's
with this.
going to touch the pretty sphere. Don't think about too much where it came from.
Well, they weren't until you told them not to.
Don't think
Look at the pretty light. Look at the pretty light.
Purple elephants.
Yeah.
And also a very nice picture of Atra being thrown into it and just slurping through.
Okay, everybody. On the number 3. 1, 2, 3. Stick
She's not here.
Ha.
Hey, you're the one who laughed. You jump into the sphere. There is this swirling, definitely pinkish surge of energy.
And you all end up... How far... I can transport 1 mile. How far outside the city can we get?
How do you know where to go?
I have to have been there before, so basically outside the city on our way there.
Sure. Then you are a mile basically that way.
All right.
You're not a mile.
So everyone
from
ends
the
up in
city
sand.
because you're going diagonally, but yeah.
Yeah.
You are
300
outside.
feet and kind of compared to 1 mile is, I think.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Exactly.
So you all end up in the hot sands of Sekhet.
It is blisteringly, blindingly bright, as there is just sunlight reflecting off sand, and you have just been in a dingy, poorly lit underground tunnel for the last hour or so.
And with a dull thud, Jorek comes through and the sphere absorbs back into him. He says, okay, I've never tried that before, but it seemed to have worked. Good.
I'm not
All
going.
right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Where's Pebbles, Atra?
Yes, Pebbles.
Atra?
I
Okay.
think he's lost his mind.
So, assuming the other 3 children are even more blinded than the rest of our adventuring crew here, because they have been down there however long that might have been, right?
Correct. There's 4 children, yeah.
And similar to how they kind of behave, Atra is behaving, like very kind of bewildered and wonder, kind of looking around. And Atra would say, where's my dad?
Okay, because that's not fucking freaky or anything. Oh my god, I'm going to need therapy. What? Okay, I'm
Just
gone.
some context. The routine of the children is that you are allowed exactly 1 hour outside every day for exercise, ostensibly, but it's always within the compound. So these massive tracts of desert is rather expansively terrifying.
Right.
I'm going to make an insight roll and throw my dice off the table.
Throw that inside.
25.
Yeah. By now, Atramentum he wouldn't have ever have let you drag him across the sand into the pink sphere in the first place. You're fairly certain of that. Yes. The statement, my dad, perhaps this is some weird Atramentum thing, that he can speak with the dead and he does spirit stuff. But, yeah.
I don't really know I have a suspicion, but I don't really know what's going on. But
Let's
I do
get
know
out of here.
that we need to get back to Adrasai.
Yes.
That's
Let's get out of here.
I look at Atra. Can you walk? Get up. We have to go now.
And that goes for the rest of you as well.
Him like, is there somebody else in there? You're a bit weird.
To catch a glance of Atramentum in the left of the eye or the somewhere. The kids are all crying and they're hopping from foot to foot. It's midday and the desert is hot and they are dressed in rags, no shoes. The sun is now starting to bake down. They've got about probably 15 minutes of exposure to this kind of heat before they crispify.
That's okay.
nice. Right.
Let's find our way back to the Windswift. Then.
How far are we from the Druid Circle right now?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Bit of a trek as you start making.
I can carry one.
Yeah, pretty much everyone ends up with a kid on them if they can. Carry them in some way, shape, or form. Do any of you have any gear? Did you bring backpacks with clothing in it, or cloaks, or something? That you might be able to.
Nope.
No.
I did not bring my packs to the commando extraction.
It's a bit of a dire situation, but you've got to create water and the like, so you start slogging your way back towards the
also have restoration.
Towards the druid circle. Adrasai, you are brought into that large chamber, which, if you recall, had 3 glowing structures around the central weird kind of cradle-looking device with the same glyphs inscribed upon it as the engine. And there is Deacon Flunt, looking very, very nervous, with this very large, heavily armed individual standing behind him. And then there is the illusionist from Drakenmoor, Ganadani, who is standing looking at Flunt, and as you arrive, they both turn to look at you, smiles spread across both their faces as they see you being brought in.
Hello.
As I live and bloody breathe, am I glad to see you? Crikey.
Bet you are.
God, I can't.
It was on your heads there for a while, wasn't it?
Jeez. When you are dead, I'm going to be so excited. Can I just do it right? You know what? Barry, just do it. Just take her head right off the shoulders straight away.
Dragon's going to be very angry if you kill me.
Gundadani also look. I'm afraid to say that the Cathars right. They're wanted by our master. The goblin looks. We can say that they slipped. And their head accidentally fell off their shoulders because Cathar are not built as well as any other of the other races. The masters are not going to know. They don't give a damn about
really?
Anyway.
Really? Like, you consult with dragons? Like, I'm already, like, processing that, but really?
Gundadani sort of looks at the golem and points towards the 3... tiers that these structures are based upon. Just go and wait over there. Don't let the Cathar escape. The golem's fingers crunch down a little bit more on your shoulder as it plods closer to the machine. From here, you are getting quite a nice view of this device, and to your horror, perhaps, you realize the mechanism more for what it is now. There are 3 engines, but it's not the encasement engine. It is the heart of the engine with the encasement removed. And it looks as if they are encased or surrounded by an energy field, each one suspended slightly above the tier that they're on. In the center of this, they form a triangle in terms of their layout. In the center is this strange shaped device. It looks like 2 arms that come out of a central core. The whole thing looks like it could possibly spin, so that when this is spinning, it starts to create a contained space. Now, you know that the engines absorb magic and then convert that into power, vast amounts of power. So whatever these magical shields are around the heart of these devices, they're not absorbing it somehow. And what that spinning thing is in the center and why that would need to happen, that, unfortunately, you don't know either.
Because last time I saw it through the observation window, there was like this big energy field in the middle with the dragon head poking out of it. Correct. Is that not there now?
That is there. Now it's just this it almost looks like a fork-shaped object in the middle.
Yeah.
About 30 foot across. It's quite big.
I sort of keep taking things in, and I keep listening and trying to sort of note as much as possible.
All right.
I'm not going to move or cast spells.
Blunt is upset, naturally, that the Windswift is here. He's quite happy to talk about the Windswift and list all of the grievances that he has with the Windswift. The fact that he had to personally travel to the Great Empire to explain why things were done and not done, and then there was this hostage situation on the tiefling cabal territories with the psychopath Graith, who was somehow blaming the order for the death of his son, and it's all tied.
I wonder how that happened.
Somehow he doesn't know how it all worked. It's just once he was assigned to the Windswift, his life was over. What you do realize is that Ganadani is not particularly interested. He has heard this possibly before, and your appearance is now just allowing Flunt to regurgitate all of his grievances again. And so he's just quietly going, that terrible. Do you know that they made me tear my cloak in a swamp? That's right. Happily trying to escape imminent death, and there was this bush with a thorn on it, and it tore my cape. Luckily, there was a fabric shop in town that, well, let's just say the Count didn't take too kindly to that particular fabric shop or its owner. And,
God.
well, I now have capes for days. Let's put it that way. Flunt doesn't even listen. He just carries on with his tirade of doom and gloom and the grievances. He kind of even goes further back and talks about how the Windswift claimed to have destroyed an oracle threat to the entire organization, which he thinks is actually the first step that the Windswifts took in trying to bring about their own empire. Because he reckoned that by assassinating all of the valuable players in one swift stroke, the Windswift positioned itself to being in a perfect position to try and take over the order from within. He's citing clauses 1 through 7 on the violations therein contained. He has lists of them. As a matter of fact, he storms out to go and get his lists, leaving Ganadani.
I feel an obsession here.
Yeah, I will occasionally call out to him more crimes that we did and the accurate
corrections
rules. Yes, I will actually correct him. Like, no, according to subsection 5, that's what we did.
You see, it wasn't really grave robbing. It was.
Yes. Like, no, you weren't there.
He is so riled. He is so riled. He buys into it and just starts to get completely lost in it. Once he leaves, Ganadani looks at you and he goes, I'm not entirely sure why you fed into his issues. I hope you don't think it's going to curry some kind of favor. You do know that we're just waiting for the rest of your captains to be found, and then we're going to open up that portal and send you to meet the Makers.
Makers? Is that what you think they are?
Once you've met them, you can tell me your opinion of them, if you can.
I mean, I suppose they sort of engineered all the... What?
No more talking from you, thank you very much. I have had enough of it from Flunt. I don't need more from you, thank you.
We could talk about something nicer.
It's actually quite nice.
You're no fun at all.
Enjoy it whilst it lasts.
There's a beautiful silence that fills this room as both people stand, waiting for the other one to start talking, and then starting to relax a little bit, as perhaps they might actually not start talking. The desert is hot and dry, but mercifully, 2 miserable hours later, you arrive at the oasis, which contains the Druid's Circle. And this very old, very brown, walnut-like individual looks at you and certainly convinces you that a loincloth is not suitable attire for living in a desert for 78 years, and opens up the portal quite happily for you. And yes, you taking a portal to where?
Well, I guess we have to go to Sanctuary first to drop off the kids. I don't think taking them to a conflict zone is the wisest thing we could do right now.
Well, there is the tree on the ship.
Yeah,
we do actually
a
have
little
a
one.
tree.
We could go back to the Windswift and let the crew and the druids there sort
Deal
out
with the kids.
Yeah.
kids.
I think they're gonna need a drink. I mean, I don't need an alcoholic drink here. I mean, just a normal glass of water, I'm sure will survive. I keep giving Atra very weird side glances, like.
Yeah. How is Atra doing, by the way?
So how long has this travel? Okay. So, I mean, Atra seems to be very accustomed to following orders and not asking too many questions. So that's basically what happened, similar to what with the other kids they did, although not having the same issues as in with just being in rags and such, because that didn't change. Yeah, and seems
Slightly disturbed by their own body.
well. That's the question: how it hit this person already or not, right? But yeah. So seems like the entire body language is different, right? That's like it's completely different, and at some point the hands are getting inspected and just like completely befuddlement, but not speaking up about it. I don't think so, because completely alien environment, alien people that are unknown, doesn't know what happened, doesn't know if this is a dream or not, because what the hell happened? So
As soon as we get back to the Windswift, I kind of turn around and look at Atra right in the face and go, "What's your name?"
Jasper?
Great. I don't suppose you know how to use that, and I point at the mace hanging from you.
That's probably gone, actually.
It would be gone, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, there would be other weapons around, so it doesn't.
So many weapons.
Gesture at the gear.
Oh, pants.
So your father's done something interesting.
Oh,
I
pants.
think this is something that we can...
Where is he? What's
No
going on?
idea. Sorry, love. I turn and leave. Hi! Where are you?
She is striding across the deck with a grin on her face. She salutes very smartly the Commodores and then goes to give a loving embrace to...
This should be interesting.
Oh no!
Who wants to break it to Ty?
Well, how do you respond to this human coming to give you a great big hug?
I think just taking like a few steps back, like as this happens, right? I mean, it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what's happening here.
Lieutenant Ty, I think you need to bring Atra here to see Lily. I think she's best suited to actually deal with whatever is afflicting him at the moment. Or them,
I think we have a her.
Yeah, it's a her. It's a long story, but I think Lily will be able to sort it out. At least I hope so. If she
Can't, then we're in trouble.
Yeah. Let's just say...
Never one again!
Keep Atra on the guard and keep an eye on them. There is more than one person in that body right now, I think. Or maybe there's just one. Either way, take them to Lily and see if she can sort this out.
Right. And And the other children, give them some food, some water,
Clothes.
and then send them to Sanctuary with a note attached to them.
Actually, there's a voice from the throng of the crew who have gathered around your arrival. It's Benjal, the human male druid.
Yes.
There was a message for the Commodore.
Spit it out.
Yeah.
You were to go to the Oaken. The Oaken! Yeah.
Right now?
All right, Con, you bring the children.
No. Like 3 hours ago. I couldn't find you, so I couldn't tell you the message.
No. We are a little busy. Refresh player memory. The portal into the facility is in the ship we captured.
Correct.
Yes, it's on the Stokstoyva.
Which is currently alongside the Windswift.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right, fine.
And the tree, I think we raised the tree on the Stokstoyva, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was the
So
mark.
the portal tree is on the Stokstoyva.
It's a sapling.
Yes.
It's growing.
Yeah.
The portlet.
The
That's
portal.
on the Stokstoyva. Okay, so we're on the Stokstoyva then.
Yes. Lieutenant Tai, or Captain Tai.
Go later.
Given what's been going... Oh, gosh. I don't know what to do. I really want to go in after Adversary right now. But
They're not back yet?
Obviously not.
All right. Okay, then we definitely need to go because they were
then
just
again,
supposed to
given
scout the
what
place.
Oaken has been up to lately, it might be worth just quickly checking in with him.
We can wait 10 minutes. Go talk to the tree.
All right, I'll make this quick.
The barbarian steps forward. If it would be of any assistance, my team, what remains, we're ready to go in after Adversary. We
Yep.
take out a person there.
Captain Tai, while Khan goes to talk to the druid, will you please gather up every able-bodied man and woman and cat?
Ty's left, so you're now looking at First Officer Mios, who is decked out in a very fine, if slightly outdated Windswift uniform.
Oh.
Yes. Gather up every able-bodied crew member. We're going. In short. Get them shields, helmets, ring mail, weapons, and get them ready. We are going to attack Section 13.
Sir, yes, sir. And he
Good. That includes you, by the way.
No,
yes,
really?
sir. He says as he's
Good.
Okay.
Orphan starts barking orders at everyone. There's a sigh from Hurricane, who's even standing there. He's like, that the child has allowed the power to go to his head. But, okay. Anyway.
That's why you're around, Hurricane.
He just smiles and wanders off. Okay, so you have taken... Ty takes Atra to Lily. And Lily takes one look at Atra. What's going on inside Atra's head? Can Lily see?
No, because there's the helmet on him.
That's right. So, yes, she tells us to blank. It's like there's no one there. I can't get any detection at all. It's very unusual, not very common. But then again, Atra was quite, protective of his thoughts.
Didn't that just show her the helmet at one point?
Yeah.
It did. We made her test it even, and she felt it was very uncomfortable, and she got a nosebleed from it. Remember that scene?
Atra, are you wearing the helmet?
Yes.
I'm not Atra.
Oh. That explains things. Can you take your hat off? Now, I'm going to just have a look inside your head, if that's okay. It won't hurt, I promise.
Heard that before.
Atra says this is a little bit more dangerous.
There is a gentle surfaced attempt from Lily because she's been hurt before trying to read Adra's mind. This could be a whole bunch of things going on here. As far as she's concerned, the spawn of evil might very well just be testing her. And so there is this
You activated my trap!
Yeah. There is this very reluctant reach out towards your mind. What does she detect?
Yeah, I mean, the mind that she would find, first and foremost, is not trained to kind of fight off any of these things. Is probably pretty scared and confused and like bewildered, I would say. I think those are the three most common kind of emotions right now.
She explains this to Captain Ty. Your name is Jasper? Like the pretty stone? Yes. I see. I think you should go and call some of the Commodores, Captain Ty. Yes. Captain Ty is beside herself. She doesn't know what to do. So yes, she goes rushing off. Did Atra ever tell Captain Ty about his daughter?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. I don't think he would be that kind to share in those moments of intimacy. Yeah. She goes rushing off to find one of the Commodores. So, Ket, what are you doing with all this chaos that's going on?
What do we think Sekhet's doing? She's trying to make a bacon butty before the next
Right.
So fuel up.
I need therapy. I need to go make a bacon butty.
Okay, so as you start drifting away, there's a gentle hand that touches your elbow. And it's Hurricane, and he says, I think you should come with me, because I have to show you something that will make you quite happy.
You made a bacon cake?
Where we're going, that would be merely a starter.
Ooh.
Done
He leads
deal.
you down into the deck of the Stokstoyva and down a very short corridor, and he gets to a door. You have seen some great things in this world. That is true. You have also seen our 15-foot by 5-foot kitchen on the Windswift.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. No.
Now, I present to you the galley of the Stokstoyva. And he pushes open the door, and there's an echo. It's so big. And there's shining metal surfaces and pots plenty. There's so much copper in there, you feel as if it's gold almost. And the smells of roasted everything and rosemaries, and there's just this warmth of happiness and calories that washes over you as he guides you into this fairly large fair. It's not massive. It's about 30 foot by 10 foot, but it's double the size of the Windswifts and much better decked out. There's a massive serving hatch which leads into the actual eating areas and things, but he's done pretty good with his couple half days that he's had whilst being on the Stokstoyva. So
Could be in heaven right now. I mean, it could take some time to extract me from here. Oh, bloody hell, Adressai. Okay, well, I feel the best way to christen this moment for me is to make an amazing bacon butty that includes some Worcester sauce. I'm assuming you found Worcester sauce in here.
this is a very well decked out ship, let me tell you. You will not want for anything except, strangely enough, vinegar. There's no vinegar on the ship, but I will do with some white wine and perhaps some alternatives. Don't worry.
Yes, well, we can, vinegar's not hard to make. We just leave the wine out for a few days. But yeah, okay. How long do we think I've got? Okay. Well, I guess. Yeah. Okay. What am I fuffing about? I'm just in slight shock here. I need to just get on with this and experiment. And do you think they've got brioche rolls?
All right. Well, that's what you're doing. Jorek, what are you doing?
I assume I'm the one that Captain Ty actually finds, because Jorek is overseeing Mios's gathering up of people on deck.
Sure. Mios assembles everybody by rank in line. There is definite overtones that him being made first officer of the Stokstoyva has gone completely to his head. And if ever there was a mini Captain Ty, this is it. Even though, ironically, he seems to have grown since you last recalled the 14-year-old being this young lad running around in a slightly too big loincloth, or the wet shirt that he has worn in the past. Now he's fitting into this uniform. It still looks like he's wearing his father's clothing, but the guy must be 6 foot tall if he's an inch or less, as he's sort of ordering around. The barbarians are falling into line, not that there's many of them left, admittedly, but yes, everybody is assembled and present.
Good. I inspect the crew, look over their equipment, and ask if they're all right, and, all that.
They have been in better shape, admittedly, most of them, especially the barbarians. There are not a lot left. There are only 6 of them left. And, they are ready to serve.
This is going to be pretty much our final battle. And I don't mean that because we're going there to die. I mean that because when we're going there, this means the end of the old order. We win today, we stop the dragons for good. How we do. So we're just waiting for the rest of the Commodores, and then we're ready to go.
Captain Ty comes up onto deck. If I might have a word, please, Commodore.
Yes, absolutely.
In private with Lily, actually.
All right. I follow her.
As she's leaving, she looks back at Mios. First Officer Mios, you and the crew are dismissed until summoned. Be prepared. He salutes. She salutes back. There is the vaguest of smiles that passes across her face as he has now got the salute right, as she disappears from the deck with you. Con, you have stepped through the portal?
Yes.
You don't remember there being this many werewolves, werebears, were-ferrets, were-boars, were-tigers, were-fants. It's just... And none... There are so many creatures here, you actually can't see normally the clearing that you could normally see. They are all also in a state of incredible damage. They're wounded, they're bleeding, there's dying, there's druids moving around them, healing as much as they can. The air is positively energized with the powers of nature busy washing over these creatures, trying to bring them back. It looks as if the druids have taken a beating. And the moment you step through, the one druid that you've seen before, she comes rushing up to you. She's got a gash across the side of her head that's been temporarily sealed up with magic, wearing this heavy sort of hide armor. She comes rushing over to you. I am so glad that you are here. You must tell me what... Well, actually, just come, please. We don't know what to do, and this is not what was planned.
I think I know what's happened.
Precious little time left.
You want to explain yourself a bit more clearly, perhaps?
She's busy moving through and over corpses and bodies and things.
What the hell happened here?
This is the aftermath of what will most likely be called the Battle of Bar, a druid city on the coast, a dwarvish city on the coast that we were attempting to enforce capitulation upon.
Jesus.
In the middle of the battle, the druids were about to take the city. The dwarves were near surrender when this happened. You have to help us. And she points, and the oaken is lying stretched out on this ancient old tree, which has sort of formed more into a throne than anything else. The oaken is lying there, and it looks like he's just lying in a pile of papers. But you realize that he has just become pages. All that remains is a little bit of his face and one very withered hand. And as you approach, he looks up at you and he says, "Ah, Karnodana, you return to save us. We are dying."
I did try and warn you about using that book.
I told you so!
I told him this was a problem that was going to solve itself. I did.
It has wrought such wonderful change for us. You must continue what we have started, Karnodana.
Oh,
You
sure I
must
will.
finish what we set out to do, Karnodana. You can see part of his cheek is slowly starting to peel up like a page. Gather close, Adana, and I will conduct the rites.
Okay.
Just a K. Okay, just K.
As you move in close, he starts to weave a spell, a druidic spell in his fingers. It's something that you have not seen. You can give me a history check, if you please.
Not sure that is my strongest.
Okay.
15.
15. This could possibly be part of the induction ceremony into one of the inner circles of the druids. You wouldn't be up for any of this under normal circumstances. Yes, you're a powerful druid, but you don't have grove. You certainly haven't spent more than 50 years as an animal or a tree. So there are more qualified individuals. Nonetheless, he starts to with the spell.
I have a grove. It's the whole world.
The druid next to you, she looks at what the oaken is doing. She looks over at you. This is madness. You're not ready. You're going to let him do it?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
He is
Both
wheels
mad, she
turning in
says,
one
as she
brain.
turns and she starts going back. I'm going to heal the sick, and then I don't know what I'm going to do, she says as she starts.
You'll wait for orders. I throw over my shoulder.
Wow. She stops dead. She turns and she looks at you. Give me an insight check.
Oh, where is it?
Skywalker.
19.
There is a look of terror on her face as her eyes flit from you back to the oaken, back to you. You planned this all along.
Aha!
You brought that book to the... As she's about to finish her sentence, the oaken releases the spell, and there is this brilliant burst of yellow light from his chest, which grows upwards. These sort of vine-like growths of energy spiral out of him, combining together to form this beautiful oak tree with leaves magically sprouting out of it, all no more than a foot in height. And as it does, the color just leaches from his face. And he looks over at you and says, You are now us. Save our world. And with that, the tree moves forward and wraps itself around you and dissolves into yourself. And he dies.
Unlimited power.
The druid looks to you, and her shoulders sag, and she looks slowly up at you. What are your orders, Oakin?
Are we still engaged in any active combat operations?
There are 3 fronts. The dwarves are engaged at Urkhbar. We have begun initial sorties into the Graith Islands of the north, and, of course, Drakenmore.
Right. I look around for the book.
It's lying perfectly innocently on the wooden throne.
Good. I pick up the book. These are my orders. All active combat fronts are to be disengaged. Recall all combatants to Sanctuary and redeploy them at the location I will provide shortly.
And execute Order 65.
And execute Order 65.
There will be significant losses if we do that. We are entrenched with the dwarves in...
I told the Oaken that making war against the world was a foolhardy exercise. The man grew drunk on power.
We will begin withdrawing our troops. Are you to remain here with us, or are you going to leave?
You're going to come with me. I go back to where all the wounded are.
Thousands of wounded.
What a fucking catastrophe.
So the important question is, what level is he now?
Yeah.
22. Book underarm. I want diplomats. Who's been serving as diplomats? Somebody's been serving as diplomats in this shit show.
We will bring the diplomats that have been serving, although there have been more heralds than diplomats for the past month.
Yes, that's the problem, isn't it? Right, I want...
Yeah, under new management now.
Yeah. Yeah. We want... I think it's worth letting our heralds go forth and herald the end of the war to our 3 fronts whilst these withdrawals are taking place. I need a force of druids assembled, able-bodied druids and were creatures in the next 5 minutes. Because we have something more pressing to attend to. Perhaps the Oaken did not mention it, but the dragons are imminently about to retake control of this world. That is our priority right now.
I see. We will do as you command, of course. Although I cannot guarantee you fresh troops. We are short on all of our numbers.
Give me the freshest you can.
There are some things that you should be aware of since you are Oakin, or should they wait?
What is it?
Rituals. There are things that we must go through. You don't just simply pick up the baton and that's it.
Is this a tradition thing? Or is there anything?
You must attune with this grove. Prepare yourself. There are so many things that must now take place. It is not even a custom for you to even leave here in the current form that you're in, but you haven't yet attuned to all of the pools that are used for such transference that the Oaken used to use. It will take weeks.
I don't have weeks. Perhaps you missed the bit where I told you that dragons are about to retake the world?
Understood. I will assemble...
It's a brave new world. What is your name, anyway?
That's a very good question. My name is...
It's a brave new world, my name is.
Brave
We are going to break it.
Is it Brave New World? My name is Alia.
Well, Alia, you just became my domestic liaison for Sanctuary. I have to go off and do some things. You're going to make sure things don't fall apart here. Good?
Looking around.
As I say, it's all change here at Sanctuary and the rest of the world too.
Let's see. What?
I will either be destroyed or I'll be back. In which case, well, the whole world's fucked anyway.
Adresai, you are hanging with Ganadani quietly, both appreciating the relative silence, when Hevent walks in as you, temporarily, until with a wave of her paw, she dismisses it. Being dragged are two of the captains that were with you, sadly, and they're both dead. One looks as if they met a golem and did not come off the better. The other one is being the other one is being dragged. That's the lower half is being dragged. The upper half is being carried, as they were obviously cut in half. I am very interested to know, and I don't expect an answer, so don't worry about even trying to fabricate one, where these ones came from. I was not aware they were even still alive. I thought that all the captains who were against us were dead, but these appear to have survived somehow. Well, not
They look pretty dead
anymore.
to me.
So that means there are two still at large. I give them credit for hiding very, very, very well. I will find them. Don't worry.
I did not see those coming in here. That was not... They're not with me.
Our masters required that we find everyone that was watching the conversation and get them ready to have another one, but they didn't say that they had to be alive, and in our experience, dead is actually better. There's less attempt to dissuade and discuss. Now, I assume the other two are here helping you because the rest of the Windswift is doing something sneaky, but I don't know what it is, so...
They're very sneaky, aren't they?
Oh, they are. They really are. She turns to Ganadani. Engage the engine. I'm tired of this. We'll present the master with 3. Better than nothing, and it's, yes, less than 5. But
4 if you count parts.
Oh, I like you. What a pity. Right. Turn it on. I'm going to speak to the masters. Let them sort out this bloody mess.
We get some mush. Maybe you can pull off, pretend that one is actually
the
2.
Engine starts to turn, and you realize that the spinning disc in the middle is the spinning arm. What it does is it draws energy out of the engines and forces it into this new space, which rips open the fabric of reality, giving you insight into the world that is beyond. It's this hot, arid space. These massive stone steps lead away to even bigger columns that are carved with resplendent dragons chasing each other up and down the lengths of them. Standing, looking rather unhappy, is this incredibly large black dragon that towers over this portal space. And it looks down directly at you, Adresai, and says... I have been expecting you, Captain Adresai.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week when the continue. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, we're going to do a very brief review before we bid you adieu. So, moving straight into the review, let's do a very quick one. Simon, I'm going to start with you because what the hell?
What the hell, man?
Yeah, about that.
What about that? We're going to find out next week. What's happening? Is it going to get revealed?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I thought about, like, one of the things that I always find extremely frustrating to me when I come across these things, and I find very satisfying if they're handled correctly, is that even evil people have motivations and have people that are super important to them, even though maybe their worldview is skewed from the kind of ethical kind of point of view. So Atra certainly is one of those people, right? And he, under no circumstances, wants to lose his daughter ever, 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 ever again. So he wouldn't. He would not let them be separated again, and he made sure of that.
Right. Well, I look forward to next week. I want to know.
And it's actually quite interesting because I came up with this idea months ago, and shortly out, like 3 weeks after I kind of came up with the idea that this could be a possibility, I came across a similar kind of story. I was like, man! So that was quite humorous.
We are never the first.
No, I don't expect to be. I mean, there was recently a discussion in the Discord that Atra is very much like Thane from Mass Effect, even though that is absolutely not the inspiration I took from. Sure. But obviously, there are always like similarities in backstory and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, sure, if that's for you, man, whatever. Like, more power to you if that's what you identify with. So, yeah, but I'm absolutely thrilled to have this have happened and to see where this is going forward, even though obviously we don't have too much time to kind of dwell on it. But
yeah. Jorek?
Yeah, Jorek is firing up, preparing for the final battle as he sees it.
Yeah, the Great War. It's lovely.
Yeah, he basically sees this as it ends today, one way or another. Either he goes down fighting or he saves the world. So he's in a bit of a fatalistic mind right now. He's fully prepared to fight to the death.
Yes.
And what if there's the princess is in another castle?
There's always that
another dimension at this point.
But that's where he is. And also, he's very, very worried about Adresai not being back.
Right.
Adresai and Jorek has built a camaraderie that is basically beyond just being colleagues. They work together a lot. They rely on each other a lot, and he feels kind of lost. And he's really worried because they should have been back by now. So he's eager to go.
As the first real connection is made in a couple of 1,000 years, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like someone I care about. Wow.
Oakkin Con?
Damn!
Yeah, this is an interesting development. Don't really know what to do with it, other than...
Let's build a stone circle. I want a calendar.
That's an idea. Yeah, look, Con is obviously pretty focused on one goal at the moment, and this is almost an inconvenience for him.
Stop making you the leader of the world.
All I said, could you just not get yourself killed so that now I have to take over? I told you not to use the book. You used the book, and this is what happened. Yeah, no, so Con is now... He doesn't want there to be world war with the druids trying to subjugate the whole planet. That was never his intent. So he's now got to try and find a way to set in motion a climb down from that, whilst at the same time rush back to the real action as he sees it, which is whatever's going on in Section 13, and hopefully to find Adrasai in the process. And that, which is obviously going to be an interesting thing. And he's got his hands on this book, which he doesn't like either. Yeah.
You realize that I can feel Adrasai's desire to bring that book into the fold, because that would mean how many books you've got? 4.
4
out of the 6.
Well, yes, I know that Adrasai's keen on these, so yeah.
Well, last you heard, they were sort of, we may have to destroy some of these.
Keep them apart. I'm pretty sure I've heard keep them separate a few times. But yeah, so far, the safest place at this precise moment in time is in my possession, as I see it, because I'm not going to use it. So yeah, Con just wants to round up some backup and go back, essentially, and is hopefully can leave some diplomats to sort out this mess in the meantime. I mean, it should only be a few hours, and then I'll be back.
Don't break the world. Right.
Don't break the world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save it.
Adrasai, you're in a very dangerous situation right now.
I've been sort of, ever since it turned out that Adrasai was going to go there along with 3 NPCs. Alone. I've been very, very sort of prepared for the possibility of this happening and actually coming face to face with this massive dragon. And I've been sort of going through my notes, and I've been sort of preparing, like, what do I have that's going to keep me alive? And I hope I have enough, and I hope that I can, in the moment of actually having to hold a conversation with another person, actually remember these things. But we'll see. I just want to get to next week now, please.
That's it. Next week. Yeah, absolutely. Sophie, I think you're busy there. Are you with us? Well, you're muted at the moment. Yeah.
Okay,
Still can't hear.
I'm here.
There we go.
Yeah. There was a moment that I thought I might be not, but he's gone back to sleep again. It's great. So yeah, let's hope you can extract Sekhet from that amazing kitchen. What did you do there, guy? You gave me an amazing kitchen. Like that was a bad move. But otherwise, Sekhet is like slightly confused because Atra's not Atra anymore. That means we've kind of lost a very valuable ally in our fight against dragons, which is a problem. I mean, God, Simon, talk about bad timing. So I hope Con, even though I have no, as Sekhet, I have no idea this is happening right now. I hope Con manages to pull off his plan to get some druidic backup, which is something that Sekhet always wanted. And then we can go and hopefully rescue Adrasai from her rather precarious predicament.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, we've had those words before. Yeah, I'll be fine.
I have one last question. Where are the stones?
I think in my pockets. 2 separate pockets.
That's lucky.
Yeah, all right. Well, next week it all comes to a head, so we will catch you same time, same place, same channel. Until then, thanks to everybody for playing. I had a lot of fun. I look forward to the next session, and thank you for watching. See you again next week. Goodbye.